How are you, my friends? This is Calculus 1 solved questions. In this video, we will use the sandwich theorem to find limits. You can check always the playlist Calculus 1 lectures for more questions. Question number 1, find the limit if it exists. The limit of x squared sine 1 over x as x goes to 0. Now, this is not easy to find, so we can think of a way by using sandwich theorem. Sandwich theorem we have explained in the lecture. So if a function here, f of x, between two functions, g of x and h of x, and we know the limit of these functions, g of x, h of x, as x goes to c is equal to L, then the function in the middle here, f of x, the limit of f of x as x goes to c will be also L. So the sandwich theorem, we call it sometimes squeeze law. Now, we start like this. The sine function here, the range of the sine function is between -1 and 1. We know that. So we can write part of this sine 1 over x, which is the sine function, between -1 closed to 1 closed. Now I can multiply each side by x squared. I don't change the sign because x squared is positive number. Now this function is squeezed between two simple functions, which we know the limit of these functions. This is a parabola. The limit of minus x squared and the limit of x squared as x goes to 0 is 0. So we can conclude the limit of this function in the middle also 0. Let's see another question here. Find the limit if it exists. Sine of x over x. We need the limit as x goes to infinity. So what do? We start with the range of the sine function. So sine of x is between -1 and 1. Now x goes to infinity means x goes to plus infinity because it's infinity. So we can divide each side here by x, which is positive, so we do not change the sign. Now let's take the limit of these three. We know the limit of -1 over x here, it's written here, as x goes to infinity, this will be 0. 1 over infinity or 1 over infinity, it will be 0. So the limit here is 0, the limit here is 0, then we can conclude that the limit of sine x divided by x as x goes to infinity by sandwich theorem will be 0. This is the graph of sine x over x we have seen before. Now this is a good question, number 3. There is no need to use sandwich theorem here. Find the limit if it exists. The limit of 1 over 1 plus 2 to the power 1 over x as x goes to 0. This is a little tricky question. Now this question is a little tricky because we have a reciprocal here, 1 over x. So we have to be careful. We have to check the limit from the right and the limit from the left. Now let's see. The limit from the right, that means x is positive. So 1 over x will go to plus infinity. So 2 to the power infinity will be also plus infinity as well. So when we check the limit of this function, as x goes to 0, positive from the right, it will be 1 over infinity plus 1. See, infinity plus 1 will be also considered as infinity. 1 over infinity will be 0. Now, if we check the limit of the same function as x goes to 0 from the left, that's 0 minus. 1 over infinity will be minus infinity. It will go to minus infinity. 2 to the power minus infinity, 1 over 2 to the power infinity, which is, it will go to 0, this one. So the limit of the same function as x goes to 0 from the left here, it will be 1 over 1 plus, this one will go to 0. So 1 over 1 plus 0, it will be 1. So the limit from the right, not equal to the limit from the left. So the limit of this function does not exist. For more questions on sandwich theorem or squeeze law, you can visit the Calculus 1 lectures, lecture number 4. And for more questions on Calculus 1 in general, you can see Calculus 1 solved questions. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, you can subscribe and share it with your friends. I hope I can see you in another video with another topic. Thank you guys for listening.